That's not what we're talking about. Trust me.
Owl. Number 2.
We're definitely not talking about high school football.
Tough loss last Friday, but we're still number 2 in St. Louis because we lost to number 1.
There you go.
But it'll be okay. If I could go to a game, it'd be better too.
Sorry, Mike.
At least we're playing. I guess
that's true.
And we have a TV network.
Yes.
So that's pretty sweet.
That's good. That's good. Did you have a good Labor Day?
I did. We didn't do anything, but I did.
No, that's good.
It was a weekend with like an extra day, and now today feels like a Monday.
I know. It definitely feels like a Monday today. So
actually, my Labor Day. So we had my brother and my Pam's sister and her husband came over with their nephew just on Sunday. So it's just three of them and us. And we decided that we would have, we're just like, let's come over, we'll have lunch. We'll do burgers and hot dogs on the grill. That's it. Yeah. The deer burgers and got like some pasta salad or something out of the deli. That was it. And so this is our Labor Day. Like I light the grill, and now our grill is an old grill, but it's a gas grill.
Oh.
And so the thing you push in, the like gas grills where you push the button, it's like the igniter and it sparks something so that it lights. Well, that thing's been gone forever. So now you got to like turn the gas on the big can. You got to throw a match in. And so, if the match doesn't hit just right, it doesn't light. But if you don't do it on the first couple, the gas builds up and Anyway, I got it lit after about 9 matches and scaring the crud out of me. But, so I light it. I tell Pam, hey, that's awesome. Go put the grill. She was going to grill up the burgers. Of course, between there, the gas went out.
No.
So then we had to finish the burgers on the
stove. That stinks. Oh.
I know. Brutal.
That's brutal.
We had Labor Day barbecue off the stove.
That's all right. We're grilling tonight, so it's all good. We got clearance steaks at Target, so I was like, score, let's go.
They were like Target.
They had like coupons on them stuck to them, and they were like $3 off, and the steaks were like $7 each. I was like, done and done. That means my steaks are $4 and $3. I will take it.
That is almost as good as a gas station steak.
Yes, exactly. So let's hope we don't get food poisoning.
Oh, my goodness. We'll check in later. All right. Hey, I want to say shout out to Kimberly. She's heading down to Walt Disney World. One of my great guests. She's out in Tucson. It's been extremely hot this year. So hopefully you get some cool weather down there. James J just got back from Walt Disney World. Or maybe he's still there. I don't know. I know he was there. I was following on Instagram.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I know, Justin. I know. I don't have a backup tank. He doesn't. I should have known. I don't know. It seemed like it went quicker this time.
Look, I'm just saying, if you
just exchange it though, like you take it
out. Yeah, but like, let's be honest. Mike wasn't going to have a backup tank if his grill is already broken to begin with. So
yeah, we need the grill, but I mean, it's late in the season and times are tough. So you just make do. We don't grill that often.
Just get a charcoal grill. Charcoal grill is fantastic.
Nah, it's too much. But it's just a pain in the butt.
Oh, I love my charcoal grill.
On our wood deck. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to run the whole house on fire.
Yeah, no, I get it, because I definitely accidentally burnt my Disney rug. Whoops. So.
And like our deck is super high. Like I don't want to burn the thing down. It'll be bad. Like our deck's probably 15, 20 feet off the ground.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Okay, so we got questions coming. Oh, hey, Erin just got her Coronado Stay book this afternoon.
Yay, that's awesome.
She's doing a pop Coronado split, which I recommend. So thank you, Erin.
That's fantastic.
In the chat here, I'm looking. Okay, so spread the word that we're here and on your socials, and we'll get started because Pam's still in Florida, but she's not in a villa, so she doesn't have good internet.
No. It's okay. It's okay.
All right, let's see. Okay, good question. Okay, good. I got one in the chat too, or in the live, or in the inbox.
Awesome.
All right. Oh wait, what number is this? 1760. All right. Here we go. 1760. Welcome to episode 1760 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday to you, which feels probably a little bit like a Tuesday because Tuesday felt like a Monday. And, this week's all screwed up because if you're here in the States, and I know Sandra's down in Australia, like, what are you talking about, Mike? It's the
was that your attempt at an Australian accent? Because that was not good.
No.
Not good. No.
But I did go to Outback a couple weeks ago.
That's not the same.
Shrimp on the Barbie.
Stop it.
I didn't get a Foster's, Australian for beer. But
Stop!
I had a zero.
Your accents are awful.
It's the days of the week are all off this week, but we're here to let you know it is in fact Wednesday, as long as I post the information correct and this releases on the right day. So we're halfway through the week already. And you know what that means? Listener questions. That's right. I was waiting for your response.
Sorry, I wasn't prepared. I'm sorry.
It's like the Jungle Cruise where you go nows and nows and put you in. Listener questions.
Exactly.
Anyway,
yes.
That's what we're doing today. Pam is still down at Walt Disney World. She is having sketchy internet issues. So we don't want to bring sketchy internet issues to our podcast. So we'll have her back next week. But we are here to answer your listener questions. So joining us from the mouseforless.com, where you need to go.
Yes.
To get all the latest information. We have Ricky. Ricky, happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. That feels like a Tuesday. So yeah, it's definitely like the weird week. You know, I mean, I love the holiday weeks. Don't get me wrong, because, you know, day off. But they totally screw you up the rest of the week. So I'm already completely all messed up. So it's all good, but you know, it does not feel like it should be Wednesday. So
well, too, and daylight savings times ends this Sunday.
No,
it doesn't. I'm just kidding. It's
I was like, what are you doing to me? That's not even close to right. Okay. Thank you. Don't screw me up that way. I think it's in November, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think.
Okay. Yeah, all right. Don't screw me up. Okay.
I don't look that far ahead. I don't look that far ahead in 2020. I'm just glad that the sun comes up the next day.
Yes.
I took a nap today and everything was canceled again. So,
yeah, exactly.
All right. Let's get to the questions. We're going to go to the inbox for the first one because it says Christmas resort stay. And we're going to be talking about this on Friday. So stay tuned for that on Friday. We're going to give you the primer of everything that's still going on down at Walt Disney World for the holiday season, when the decorations are going up, when the music's going to start, what's going to be missing this year, what's going to be modified. We're going to give you the primer for Christmas 2020 in Walt Disney World this Friday. But Kevin from South Carolina asks, hey, BOGP crew, my family of 4 currently have unactivated APs. With a 6 and a 4-year-old, we're waiting for things to return back to normal before we activate our passes and return to the parks. However, we'd love to do a resort-only stay during Christmas. Would we be allowed to visit the different resorts? Do you think this would be something worth doing? Thanks for all your help, Kevin. All right. So first of all, here's the deal. This is what I learned from staying on site at Pop Century last month. Basically, if you're in the resort bubble, you know, say you're staying at a Pop Century or a Caribbean Beach, or say, a yacht club or something, you're in the bubble where you can catch the Disney transportation and you can go to any other resort, because all you got to do is go to a park and then hop a bus or a boat or a monorail, whatever. So yes, you could resort hop. Now we're going to talk about this on Friday.
Whoa, what are we doing shows on Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, what I'm talking about. Thinking of football, big football starts Saturday.
Yeah.
Not SEC, but Big 12. All right. So, Ricky, I know that there's, some things going to be missing this year. The big one, the gingerbread houses that won't be around. But there will be some things to check out at other resorts. So maybe this is a cool little thing.
Yeah, so this year, no gingerbread houses at any of the resorts, or I guess I should say gingerbread displays, because there's really only one house, which is usually at the Grand Floridian, and then at the other resorts,
it's more like a cottage.
It is definitely a cottage, yes. And then at the other resorts, it's kind of these unique displays. So, like at the Beach Club, they have the carousel that actually rotates.
Frogger.
No, not at the Boardwalk, they have a display usually. At the Contemporary, they have a display usually with Cinderella, and it looks like it's a Small World and stuff like that. They've done Frozen, and it looks like it's a Small World too. So they usually have a display there. But this year, no gingerbread displays at any of the resorts, just due to social distancing. So
okay, so see, initially, because Disney sends out these Destination Disney emails to all the travel agents. Before this, it's kind of like when the press release hits, but the same. And so initially, I thought, oh my god, like, is gingerbread like a conductor of COVID? I mean, it made it sound like, dude, don't even get I'm scared this Christmas. Like, do not get me a gingerbread cookie. Like, I am scared that it'll be the end of me. But I guess it's social distancing.
Yes, it's so that people because if you've ever been to any of the gingerbread displays, especially the one at the Grand Floridian, they get pretty busy. I mean, people come from all over to see these displays. So, in order to minimize the ability for people to come from all over to see the displays, Disney has decided not to do the displays this year. So, kind of sad. They will still be decorating all of the hotels for Christmas. So, that's still an option. You're still going to be able to see the holiday decorations. They just may not be the same kind of decorations that you're usually expecting. So, it's the going to see the displays is fine. However, it's not going to be like as grand as it usually is because they, will just have trees at most of the resorts. There won't be, and like garland and stuff like that. There won't be like anything else.
I will say, stay tuned for Friday because we are going to get into, I'm going to give some of my, kind of under the radar resorts to visit because they have cool Christmas trees. I mean, it may be a Christmas tree and some music, but still it's themed.
Yes.
We'll talk about that on Friday. Yes. All right. Next question from the live chat. Thanks for being live with us here in the Facebook page or on YouTube. We record usually on Mondays around 5:45 Eastern. We're a little bit early this week, but drop in next week.
Also, we're not doing it on the wrong day, so it's all messed up.
Yeah, yes. Well, it's holiday week. Again, we don't know what day of the week it is.
Exactly.
It says, hey, I know you guys have probably answered this, but is there any way you could explain the boarding pass system? Going in November and really like to have it down for Hollywood Studios. Love your show very much. Thank you, Natalie. All right, Ricky, do you want to walk through the boarding passes for Rise of the Resort?
Yes. So obviously you have to be at the park before 10 o'clock in the morning, which is the time right now that they are dropping the Rise of the Resistance boarding passes for the first time in the day. So there's actually 2 times in the day now that they drop boarding passes. 10 o'clock in the morning is the first time, and then 2 o'clock in the afternoon is the second time. Now, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get on your My Disney Experience app. You're going to pull up and it's going to say something about you'll see like right on the homepage. It says something about, join boarding group or whatever. It's plain to see usually.
You can't miss it.
Yeah. I mean, and if you do miss it, like just kind of scroll through your My Disney Experience app, you'll find it. It's on the main homepage. So it says Star Wars Rise of the Resistance, request access with virtual queue. You're going to request the button. You're going to touch the button that says join, and then it will pop up with either the ability to join the queue or like you can see right now, I can't obviously join the queue because, well, I'm not there, and B, the boarding passes have all been, given out for the day. But, if there are boarding passes available, you'll be able to hit the button that says, to join the queue. Then it will give you a time a boarding group number for when you will be able to come back to the attraction. Now you'll want to keep track of, you want to make sure that you have your alerts on your phone turned on. So that way, when it's time for your boarding pass to come up, it will show up on your phone as an alert. So that's a helpful tip, by the way. But if not, you can always just check, the My Disney Experience app to see what boarding group they're on. It does say in the app, like right now, it says it's boarding group 63 to 68. So it will constantly tell you what
is BB-8 moving on there. Cause I'm like, come on now, BB-8, let's go.
No, not right now. He's not.
With the mobile orders, like the thing that drives me crazy is like that burger just flipping. Like, come on, burger, let's go.
Yeah, exactly.
I need to eat. Yeah.
So the most stressful part about the whole boarding pass process is the fact that you want to make sure that you are ready to go before 10 o'clock in the morning or the 2 o'clock in the afternoon time spot. So you want to make sure you're logged in. You want to make sure you've got, everybody in your party, in your My Disney Experience account. I would assume that you probably already have that all set up, but, just in case you don't, make sure that everybody's there. And you want to make sure that you are ready to go at that 10 o'clock time period because they go, in seconds. And I'm not joking when I say like 10 seconds. It's absolutely like
that gray hair that was from my last ride. Yeah.
So they go so quick. So just, that's probably the most stressful part about it. Now, the good news is, if you kind of want to see it, before when they did the boarding pass process, it was literally only the one shot. You only had the when the park opened, that was it. When the boarding passes were gone, they were gone. Now, thankfully, they are offering the 2 o'clock time slot as well. So if for some reason you don't get your boarding pass at 10 o'clock in the morning, make sure you set an alarm for your phone. So that way, okay, like at 1:58 or something like that. Okay, I need to be on my phone.
See, that's too close.
That's too close. I'm sorry.
At least, come on now.
I'm sorry. I'm going to cut it close at 158. Yeah, exactly. Too close. So go 155 to make Mike happy.
Thank you.
And you're welcome. And then be ready to go to make your reservation, your boarding pass reservation at that point. I don't know how fast it's going at the 2:00 time spot. I'm expecting it's still going pretty darn fast. All I know is that I keep seeing in the morning, like 10 o'clock, 10 seconds, 8 seconds or something stupid like that. So.
The go-getters are there at 10.
Exactly. So, you may have better luck at 2. I know my brother did. He actually went at 10 o'clock, was there all ready to go. Didn't get it in that first 10 o'clock time spot, and so he was freaking out. He's like, oh, I got up early, went to the park, I did everything, and I still didn't get it. So his anxiety was really high. But then when the 2:00 time slot came open, he did manage to get a boarding pass. Now the only problem with the 2:00 boarding pass is it is possible, if the attraction is not running at optimal capacity, that you may not get on the attraction. But for the most part, I think they're having pretty good success at making sure that everybody gets on the attraction for that day.
That's what it is. You'll worry about it for 5 days, and it takes 10 seconds.
Exactly. And it takes literally 10 seconds.
Most people get, because somebody's asking, like, well, what's the percentage of people that actually ride the ride? Most people do. I mean, you'd be hearing about it if they didn't. So
that get the boarding pass.
Most people do get a boarding group. You just got to be ready. If you're proactive, now if you're rolling at 6 o'clock, you're not going to get it. There's everywhere. But yeah, I mean, if you are planning there and you're on time, most chances you're going to get something. It may be a later boarding group, and it's kind of random. Like, I always get later ones, even like when I'm right there, but
exactly. So I mean,
cool. Here's a follow-up question on that. Celia asked in the live chat, someone asked me this question today and I had no clue. If you scan into DHS in the afternoon and are not in the park at 2, but your family is, can that person who scanned in and left before 2 still be put in a boarding group? I would say no, because now, I'm not sure on this. This is a really tricky situation, but I'm relating this to FastPass, and I think that the system is smart enough. Well, you don't get out of a park though.
No, and
that's true. I wouldn't know if you stand out. So yeah,
if you're all connected, if you're all connected on My Disney Experience, you should be. If you've already scanned into the park, you should be okay. I would think.
If you don't scan out. Now, see, I was thinking of park hopping days where you might scan back into a second park before then, and then they would know you're not in the, like say you went from the studios to Epcot. And
right.
Well, then if you're scanned into Epcot, they know you're not in the studios anymore.
Yes.
But that's not happening now.
That isn't happening now. No, I think that I wouldn't test it if you really wanted to ride the attraction.
Yeah, that's more harrowing than Ricky's 2-minute warning before.
Exactly. Yeah. So I wouldn't test that one. But unless you really just wanted to test to see if it worked. I mean, but personally, I wouldn't test it. So also somebody's asking, Mark is asking, do you think they'll ever allow a physical queue for Rise? And yeah, I think eventually they will. There's just,
what it'll look like? It'll look like the queue for the Madame Leota slipper.
Yeah, yes, exactly. I think that I really think that it's a two-pronged problem. I mean, one is it's an incredibly popular attraction. Obviously, I mean, it's the greatest thing since sliced bread, basically. So, I mean, it's really, really cool. It is. I'd say it was the newest attraction at Disney's Hollywood Studios, but it's not anymore. You've got Mickey and Minnie's, which does have a physical queue. But the other problem with Rise right now is that the attraction, because of how complex it is, it makes it hard to make sure that it's running optimally. So I know that they have some issues sometimes with making sure the attraction is running at its best peak performance. So that's why they aren't having a queue, because people would be waiting in line for a really long time in those downtimes that the attraction is down. So with a virtual queue, you don't have that issue of, downtimes. Or at least you wouldn't notice it, so
it's way easier to manage people in the case of technical issues with a virtual queue, because you just don't allow the next wave of people in.
Exactly.
If you have a line that's 2 hours long, that's an issue. And plus, with social distancing, it's everywhere.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true. So I think eventually, yes, we will see an actual queue for Rise. I think they just need to work out some of the bugs and issues that they have with the attraction, because it's just such a technologically advanced attraction. That's part of the problem right now. So.
All right. Shout out to Rick Schlosser, who is checking in from Skipper Canteen.
Awesome. That's fantastic. I love Skipper Canteen.
Tastes like
yes. No, the char siu pork is amazing there. It's really good.
Tara Hughes, who's tuned in from Walt Disney World right now.
That's awesome. Yay, everybody's at Walt Disney World right now. I'm not.
All right, let's get to the next question. This one comes from the Facebook page. It is from Hunter. He says, I hope you're doing well. I've listened to your podcast for a couple of years now and really enjoy the insight you guys provide. Oh, Hunter's in the live chat too. This is great. I even noticed he was in the live chat. My first trip to Walt Disney World was with my wife for a honeymoon in 2016. She had been a few times with family and for cheerleading. Oh my goodness. Cheerleading.
Wow.
Those old days. But that was my first experience, and I've been hooked ever since. We stayed at Port Orleans French Quarter, but as a banker, I'm always looking to be as efficient as possible. So I've planned the trips ever since. We stayed at All-Star Movies in 2018, All-Star Music in 2019 with our 2-year-old son, and had planned a trip to Disneyland beginning tomorrow. But of course, that is not happening now. No. But with that being said, I ended up booking a trip to Walt Disney World from September 26th to October 3rd at Pop Century. Since I started planning our trips, our goal is to get the best deal we can on the hotel, enjoying our days in the parks, and eat wherever we end up, with the exception of an occasional character dining experience or fine dining experience. Do you guys have any suggestions for upcoming trip, whether that's dining options, travel tips, etc.? Thanks, Hottie Toddy. Let me test you, Ricky. What is Hottie Toddy associated with? Come on now. You live in Georgia.
Drinking?
No, I think it might be, but it is a drink. But you know what it is? That's how, you know how like Mizzou people say M-I-Z to each other and it's Z-O-U's, which is back.
Yeah.
That's what Ole Miss fans say to each other. Oh. If you ever come across an Ole Miss fan, like if you ever come across Eli Manning, you just go, Hottie Toddy. See you down at the Grove.
Okay. Well, next time I come across Eli Manning,
and say, how's Lane Kiffin treating you right now? That's what you say. Anyway, back to the question at hand. So he made it. He likes to be efficient. He's a banker. He sounds very much like your husband.
He sounds very fiscally responsible, as I like to call it. Yes, he does.
Sounds like Brian. But tips. I mean, they have a 2-year-old son. They're trying to kind of, stretch the buck, but also have a good time at the same time.
I mean, they're being smart by, staying at the value resorts overall. I mean, that's kind of what we usually do. Like I said, I have a very fiscally responsible husband. So, that's always what we do is if we're staying on site, we're almost always staying, unless it's with friends, we're staying at a value resort. So you've got that, and you've got the best value resort, in my opinion, with Pop Century, because the Skyliner.
So it doesn't matter because it's the only one.
Well, that's true. It is the only one right now. So yeah, that's a good point. I think that they have a great plan as far as, saving money on like meals and stuff like that. They have the kind of the go with the seat of their pants kind of plan, which is usually my plan as well. Yeah. So I think you've got a great plan there too. I really think you're in a good position as far as everything that you talked about. Obviously the thing that really ends up costing the most for us is like food. So I always make sure I have bottles of water, or, like my sipper that I have here. Like I bring this water bottle in the parks with me and fill that up. So that's my biggest thing, is because it's still hot in October, September, the end of September, right? Is when they're going.
Yep. So early October.
Yeah. So it's still really hot. So you're going to want, lots of water. So just make sure you bring plenty of the bottles of water for your family, because otherwise then you have to either go into a restaurant, which takes time away from your vacation. And, in these times of COVID, they're not, it's hard to probably even get in a restaurant, counter service restaurant right now, because you have to have, the mobile order to probably be able to get in there anyway. So make sure you have those. Bring breakfast for the going, to the parks, like Pop-Tarts. Mike is big on, why did I call him Mom?
Rice Krispie treats like they're going out of style too, because you can shove them in your pockets. 90 calories.
That's right. Exactly. Mike is big on Rice Krispie treats. We sometimes go and get donuts. I think at Pop they have like Entenmann's donuts and like the 8-pack usually.
Now because because that whole section's closed. But they used under normal circumstances they do.
That's a bummer. Okay, never mind then. So bring Entenmann's donuts with you, or just something along those lines. That's going to be a helpful way to save money as well. So yeah, those are things that we usually did.
And you know what the thing is too, is just, you guys are on the right track. This, find ways to make magic, do a lot of fun pictures. Those are free. You don't even have to do Memory Maker right now. Take them on your phone, selfies, decide we're going to get a selfie with every, a pumpkin we see, every different kind of pumpkin. Cause you're, Halloween season or something like, and one of the things, cause you have to wear masks, get some cool masks, and those are cheap, and that's something that could be kind of fun for the kid.
That's absolutely true. And right now, I mean, you can get masks. If you want to get like a 4-pack on shopdisney.com, they do have, it's a little cheaper to buy the masks there than it is to buy them individually when you're at the resort. So you can save a little bit of money that way. So that's an option too. Just know the masks do run small. So just keep that in mind. Like a medium is not an adult medium. It is a child size mask. So just keep that in mind. Yeah. So that's a good way to save a little bit of money on masks too, because, then you can have the fun, and they do have the theme park masks on the Shop Disney right now too. So I just got my 4-pack of Haunted Mansion, It's a Small World, Enchanted Tiki Room, and Tomorrowland. So
they're everywhere. Just get them when you get there. They're in every shop.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is they're $6 versus I think they're $5 each if you buy the 4-pack.
Okay. All right.
So that's why I said if you buy them ahead of time online on Shop Disney, you can save a little bit of money. So
okay. All right, let's look through some of these. Chance Porter has a question. 186 days until my March trip, and I want to be gearing up for ADRs. Any ideas of when they may be opening ADRs like the good old days? You can only book them at 60. So
yeah, and no, I don't. You're not. Well, I think what he's asking is do you think
180 when they'll go back
to 180? No, don't count on it. No, not anytime soon. Anyway, so I think it's going to be at 60 for, at least another year at this point.
I would think
so. And personally, I hope it stays at 60. I know everybody loves the 180, but I really kind of hope it stays at 60. It's at 60 at Disneyland. Or at least maybe 75, because I know a lot of people with the Fast Pass issue. So maybe change it to 75, but I don't want to.
They are starting Fast Pass up on October 1st again. So no, I'm just seeing if people paying attention today.
Stop doing that to people. Gosh,
yes. like we have a lot of runners listen to us. I just when I'm running and I think I missed something because I'm zoned out because it's between mile 11 and 12. I'm like, wait, what? Okay, so
yeah. Stop doing that to people. What? Yes.
Okay, next question from John Luke. Hey, BOGP crew from Long Island. Do you know what kind of decorations they'll have for Halloween? We're heading down September 17 to 23. Breaking news. Hang on.
Oh no.
Jack-o'-lanterns that look like Mickey. Such a butt.
Yeah, definitely jack-o'-lanterns. So I expect, granted, it's still early, so we don't know 100% what kind of holiday decor they're going to have. I suspect, though, it's going to be the same that they have every year. So they have the fantastic jack-o'-lanterns on Main Street USA. They have the fall garland, and then they have the character pumpkin people in the front there in the town square area of Main Street. And then in Liberty Square, they usually have some fall garland. That's about it, to be perfectly honest. They always hype up how much Halloween decor they have at the Magic Kingdom, and really it's just Main Street USA that really has most of it. So, they'll probably have the same stuff they always have.
Besides the Halloween stuff, I just like kind of seeing the bunting that's the colors of fall, like the oranges and the browns, and sometimes they'll have they have this Silver Dollar City, Six Flags, just what are they, straw, they put around the pole. Yep. They kind of look like, big straw stacks. I don't know what you call them, enough from the country. What are they? Like big shoots of, they're kind of yellowish.
Yeah, I got it.
Corn stalks or something.
Yeah, corn stalks.
They really are, but they're cool looking. So yeah, not really far. I'll have to ask Matt Parrish. He brought it.
There you go.
He's from Springfield, or down in Southwest Missouri. All right, next question is from Christopher Chabot, who's going to call on Sunday night, but we missed him. He says, missed the call-in show on Sunday, but have a question I'm itching to get answered. If he's itching, and we're like calamine lotion. So we're going to take care of him right here. Heading down to the world in November for 3 days, 2 nights. So 2 nights, 3 days, November. Okay. Original plan was French Quarter, but we got moved to Caribbean Beach. Would you rather, we get a little mini would you rather. Would you rather stay in Caribbean Beach, first time in 11 years, or upgrade to Grand Casino Tower water view for $300? With the reduced hours, I'm debating which resort will provide more entertainment. Caribbean Beach has the advantage on transportation with the Skyliner in 2 of our 3 park days at Hollywood Studios and Epcot, but who has the upper hand in regards to restaurants and lounges? I have pools as a tie, and I'm thinking rooms at Grand Casino win. Live chat and BOGP crew, please help. All right, I'm going to give mine first on this one.
I know which one you're going to go with.
I say, because your time is so limited, Caribbean Beach on the Skyliner, and especially because you mentioned you're going to Epcot and the studio. Yep. I mean, you were there in a blink, and more importantly, at the end of the day, you're back in a blink. Yep. Also, Caribbean Beach now has upgraded. It's got the cabana. What's it? The banana cabana.
Yeah, there's that lounge.
I get them mixed up. So it has now. I will tell you, Coronado is definitely a more deluxe feel. The rooms are better at Coronado, especially in the tower. You got Barcelona down in the lower part of the lobby. Coronado is awesome. If you were in the pools, I would say I love the dig side at Coronado. I would give it like a tick up on the pirate pool at Caribbean Beach, but the pirate pool is cool too. And there's a lot of quiet pools everywhere too. But here's the thing. If you were just going for resort stay, Coronado for sure for the $300. But if you can save $300, stay at Caribbean Beach, you'll still have decent dining, pretty good dining, a great pool, decent rooms, and the Skyliner where you can get around to the parks quickly. I say save the $300 and go Caribbean Beach. That's what I would.
Yeah, I was actually going to say the same thing. I would save the $300. I would stay at Caribbean Beach. I think Caribbean Beach, based off of what parks they're planning on going to the most, is hands down, the Skyliner is the way to go. So Caribbean Beach is exactly where I would stay at this point. Yeah. And you can always visit the Coronado for their lounges if you want. So there's that option too. But yeah, I think as far as the transportation just wins for that one.
Yeah, maybe go over to Coronado and have like dinner at the Three Bridges, on the lake or something like that. That'd be fun. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like a Geyser Point. Mm-hmm. All right, this question actually just came in an hour ago. 3-day getaway listener question from Jonah. Hey everybody, my wife and I made the last minute decision to head down to Walt Disney World in November. We're arriving at Pop Century on a Sunday and leaving on a Wednesday morning. When I think 3-day trip, I'm always thinking weekends, but this is kind of interesting because it's a Sunday to a Wednesday for a 3-day. The plan is to do Animal Kingdom, a day at the other park, and a day in the Magic Kingdom. I have a few questions. Number 1, with the parks closing earlier, what would you suggest for a good meal at the Springs or the resorts on 2 of our evenings? We've already kind of settled on the idea of Polite Pig after our Animal Kingdom day. We'd love to check out Animal Kingdom Lodge restaurants if there's a possibility of those reopening between now and then. Okay, and then here's the second question. I would not think Animal Kingdom is going to be back open between now and then. Polite Pig is amazing. Go. Yes, go. And please do not put the pictures on Instagram because I just started drooling. Stop. Go and don't even tell me you went. Please, Jonah.
Got it.
All right, so that. What about the other 2 nights? I say I would go Disney Springs or resort. I would throw out a couple options.
Okay.
Geyser Point at Wilderness Lodge. Especially after your Magic Kingdom day, catch a boat right over and you're there. And especially if it's a nice night, because that's outside and that's a great place to eat.
Right.
They have good stuff on the menu. Not a huge menu, but it's good stuff. Mm-hmm. What about the Springs? I mean, they got the Polite Pig already, but do we have another resort restaurant? Where do you think? So it's going to be a day where they're probably at Universal coming back. Or Universal.
I was actually going to suggest, I know this is a Disney podcast, but I was totally going to suggest eating at City Walk.
Nope, didn't hear you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. City Walk.
Okay.
Eat at City Walk. I have the perfect restaurant for you. Go to Big Fire Grill at City Walk. It is amazing. It is seriously one of the best steaks I've ever had. It was cooked to perfection. The potatoes that I had were amazing. They had a pork belly mac and cheese, which was just fire.
Oh, sounds good.
Seriously, oh my gosh. I guarantee you will not regret going to Big Fire. They also have this it's like a s'mores thing that you can do in the middle of the table. I don't suggest doing it. I think that it's a little bit of a rip. I think it's the novelty is cool, but I would suggest instead going over to Toothsome, which has their shakes that you can go and you can do the walk-up shake at Toothsome.
I had one once and I was in pain for 3 days afterwards.
So good. I'm telling you, like, it's the most delicious shake. It's 2 desserts in one usually because it comes with some giant confection on top, whether it's a
dessert on top of a big
slice of cake or a cupcake or a giant cookie or a brownie. Like, it comes with something.
Stop. I'm getting flashbacks to April 2018. Stop.
It's so good. Oh my gosh. So if that's the day that I was having, that's what I would do. If you're looking to go to Disney Springs, though, then definitely consider Homecoming. Definitely consider Boathouse. I think that those are 2 of our favorites here on the podcast.
Paradiso 37, just for the heck of it. I
go there. I have eaten there once. It's not bad. I enjoyed my nachos, so those were good. But yeah, I would absolutely consider one of those 2 restaurants. If you're wanting like a counter service type option, Deluxe Burger, I think, is going to be a great option at the Springs. Or, of course, there's Earl of Sandwich, which is also good too. But seriously, go to Big Fire. You will not regret it. It was so good. I wish I could have Big Fire tonight. Oh my gosh, it was so good.
All right, so real quick, any tips on getting from Pop to Universal? Probably Uber, Lyft, something like that. Probably $10, and plus you get dropped off right in the front.
Yeah, I would Uber or Lyft, to be perfectly honest. I mean, that's the best way to do it at this point. Yep.
Oh, look at that. Bethany said they love Paradiso 37. Hubs loves the fish tacos. See? I've been so curious about that place for like 15 years and I've never gone.
Their nachos are good, and they had good plantains too. So I liked it.
You're trying to kill me? I'm allergic to bananas.
Oh yeah, you're allergic to bananas. That's right.
Kill me. Dude. I feel like I'm with my family. Like they're always trying to
sorry, I forgot you were allergic to bananas.
And shout out to Anthony, who is listening on his way home from work as we record live. All right, real quick, Bethany's got a question. Do you think Food and Wine will run through the Festival of the Holidays over at Epcot, which was announced this year? So what's that, November 6th is kind of the magic date for the decorations and stuff. Is that when Festival of the Holidays starts?
It is not. So the Festival of the Holidays starts on the 27th.
My birthday, yes, there you go. That's for my birthday.
So yeah, perfect birthday present for you. So I would say it will probably run. I mean, they haven't officially announced a date, obviously, for the scaled down version of Food and Wine. But if I was going to take a guess, I would say probably either through like the 15th or maybe the 20th, 21st, somewhere around there, like somewhere in that week, I would say is probably when you're going to see the Food and Wine Festival end.
I did see today too, just somebody that was at Epcot that, they actually had some of the food booths because again, this is kind of the first week after Labor Day where the crowds dip on a normal year. Yes. And some of the Food and Wine booths were not open that had been open solid since the opening. Like Spain, I think, was closed.
Interesting.
They're going to be open on the weekends.
I can see a lot of them only being open on the weekends, to be perfectly honest. So yeah, this year's Food and Wine Festival is just not as big or grand as it has been in the past. I mean, rightfully so. But it kind of, in a weird way, feels like a small bit of an afterthought. I don't know. Maybe that's just because there's not like all the hoopla going on with all the, chefs and stuff like that. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right, real quick for Alfred, any updates to Halloween offerings? I don't think we have anything new on that. They've kind of set that all into place. Everything's in motion. They've moved on to the holidays of Christmas and for New Year's, but that's on deck. And then, of course, we've been having this conversation in the Discord like crazy earlier this week about the fate of Marathon Weekend. And on Sunday night on the live call-in show, I gave it about a 30% chance of happening. I'm back down to between a 15 and 20% chance of it happening at this point because of what has been decided for December, which is a couple weeks before Marathon.
Yeah, that's probably true. And to be honest, I mean, they don't ever have anything, for the Halloween festivities that it's new besides the fact, I mean, obviously the fact that you're going to be able to dress up this year at the Magic Kingdom. I mean, that is new. So that's kind of cool. And also, I mean, any kind of specialty treat or something like that. That's what's going to be new, is some specialty treat, some specialty merchandise sipper or popcorn bucket or something like that. That's usually what they have. That's new for the Halloween festivities.
Well, we talked about that on Sunday night on the live call-in show. We used your article over on the Mouse for Less, with all the new cupcakes and merchandise. The that one popcorn bucket that's like a Mickey jack-o'-lantern, looks like that, kind of looks like the balloon.
So cute. Yes,
that one's solid. I like that one a lot.
It's so cute. And of course, everybody has been losing their minds over the Madame Leota sipper.
Yeah.
So,
that line, are you kidding me? That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, of course. But I mean, can you blame them? I mean, the sipper is really cool.
See, so I think the stuff's cool, but I'm not waiting in line like longer than riding Seven Dwarfs Mine Train for like a cup.
True. Well, I mean, it's a lot of resellers.
That stuff drives me crazy.
I know. I know. Don't get me started on the resellers. So,
what do you think the chances are you'll get one of the character cavalcades during the Halloween season with like the band that plays in the Booty U parade?
Yes. You mean like they're
up there like the skeletons that are playing like the bass and the drums and stuff? Who are they? Do they have a name?
Oh my gosh, the skeleton band. Yeah, that would be fantastic.
That'd be awesome if they busted out. That float's sitting around somewhere.
I would love to see that. And, all they have to do is just splice out that section of It's Good to Be Bad of the parade and just play it running down Main Street. That would be fantastic. You know what I think we will see, though, potentially is the Cadaver Dans. I think we'll see them. Possibly.
People just walking around with shovels, dragging them on the ground, making sparks.
No, not that. But I think that we might see the Cadaver Dans performing in Frontierland. Above, I think Country Bear is a spot where there's like a spot where the characters stand right now. Like I know Country Bears are standing up there greeting guests. So I can easily see them doing something like right there. Or I think there's
stopping. You can't have people stop and look. That's a stage.
That's valid though. I mean,
everything's got to be like a flyby.
That's true.
They Good to Be Bad like in 4 times the normal speed, and they're just like
maybe they could like walk and sing. I don't know. I think the Cadaver Dance would be really good.
It would be really good, but they got to really pop. And I have an answer for the Christmas stuff on Friday's show. I mean, I have the solution of all solutions. Wait to hear this on Friday.
Oh no,
they can do that would blow people's mind, and it would work in 2020. That's called the tease.
See what that is. Yes.
All right, we're going to get out of here. But before we do, I want to thank all of our patrons. You're really making this stuff happen for us here in the times where travel has slowed down a bit. I want to give a shout out to some of our patrons that have been here since day one with us back in June. And a lot of these folks have been with the podcast since we started back in 2008. Big shout out to Michelle Camber, Madison, Susie Campbell, Michelle Fenster, Sarah Goff, Kelly Hughes, and Philip LeBlanc. Thanks for being a patron. You make this all possible. Don't forget, if you have a question and you want to get on the next show, send your question to mike@beourguestpodcast.com. Put listener questions in the heading, and we'll get that on the podcast. Today's show, of course, brought to you by the great folks over at the Magic for Less Travel. They are the best. They are a platinum earmarked agency, which means Disney has recognized them for being the best of the best. It's a great time to book with the travel agent. It costs you nothing extra. You get expert help with every step of the process, and it really does help support the show. So go over to themagicforless.com, fill out that free, no obligation quote form. And if you mention the Be Our Guest podcast, it's you and I working together. I'm full time. I do this every day, all day. We're going to take great care of you right away. So check them out today over at themagicforless.com. Also, please use our Amazon affiliate link, beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And if you would like to get some extra content in your week and become a patron, check it out. We got a private Discord channel, which is a lot of fun. It's a chat room. It sounds real fancy and technical. It's not. It's like an old IRC chat. We have a private one for our patrons. We have one for everybody else. We actually have one for the lizards too. But become a patron. Patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. Give us a follow on social media and Instagram @beourguestmike, @beourguestpod, and of course, check us out on Facebook and YouTube as well. All right, time to get out of here, and I gotta find my Christmas stockings in my Christmas hat. It's still hot. We're going to be talking Christmas down at Walt Disney World on Friday. So until then, for Pam and Ricky, I'm Mike, wishing you a great Wednesday. Time to get back to work. That's right. It is still Wednesday. We'll see you real soon. Alrighty.
Yay.
It's good to be. Now I got the boot.
I know. Brian was listening to Magical Mouse Radio earlier, and And Boo to You came on, and we were totally just jamming out to it. Not even gonna lie.
You.
Yes, I love it. Oh my gosh.
God, I love that. That's such a good party. I would probably be going, but it's a bummer that it's not happening.
What, the Boo to You parade? Or
Yeah.
I mean
any of it.
Yeah.
2020 stinks. Yeah, Tim, just have the horsemen go through all parts of the park randomly, like at full speed. The horse, look out! People dive. Look, head versus head. It's missing.
That would be awesome. Not gonna lie. So.
Thank you, Anthony. You're so very nice. Alfred's gonna get his Madame Leota.
That's awesome. I hope they have it for you. Not gonna lie.
Dude, those lines are crazy.
My brother's going, I think, on Friday, and he's hoping that they still have it.
It's a 2 soda kind of show.
Gotcha.
Boo to you. Okay. I can do that all night. All right. You got all the information for the Christmas, so you can lay it down.
Let me pull
I do have the perfect solution. I got to get this going. I thought about this on my walk this afternoon. I was I got something smart for once. Because here we go.
Okay. All right. Let's
get ready to have your mind blown, people.
I am ready to have my mind blown.
Here we go.
Let's go.
Welcome to episode 1762 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Friday. What? It's Thursday. No, it's the weekend already. And guess what? This is a proud dad moment, right? Because, the podcast started, Mallory was 2 months old. Right. I started this podcast, to be honest, just so I could get out of the upstairs where she was crying all the time. I got to something kind of the basement. No, I'm just kidding. That was my joke. Yeah, exactly. I started a podcast when she was a baby because I get away from the crying for a couple hours a week. No, but we're here. So she is now this Saturday, tomorrow. It's going to be her. This is a proud dad moment. Now, she does all-star cheer, which is competitive cheer, which, they go around all these competitions around the country. It's really athletic. It's crazy. If you've ever seen this show on Netflix called Cheer?
I've heard of it.
Here. Okay, it's like all the rage. And so, cheerleading ain't what it used to be like in the 50s. I'll tell you that. It's not just like, yay. It's like these girls are crazy athletes. But anyway, she's also now doing junior high cheer, which is like high school cheer, but on junior level. This is the proud dad moment. She gets to cheer at her first football game tomorrow.
That's awesome.
Oh, because you know how I feel about football. I love college football. I love high school football. So she's a junior Viking cheerleader. So tomorrow is the big day. So I'm super, super excited.
That's so cool.
She's very nervous.
Yeah, I'm sure.
If you screw up, it's okay. It's only gonna be a couple hundred people that are gonna like that girl had another routine. So I'm just saying, just so that gives her incentive to practice harder. To learn the routines. You got to keep her on her toes. Anyway, today we're going to be talking about Christmas. We're going to get you in the spirit. And I'm not talking about the girl who's the head of household on Big Brother right now. Her name is Christmas. No, we're talking the holiday in December. The holidays. We're talking all of it, except New Year's, because we don't know anything about that yet. They're waiting. So anyway, to do this, we had to go right to the source. And we've got Ricky from themouseforless.com, where you can get all of this information and follow right along like you're cheating on a test. What's up, Ricky?
Thank you. I mean, it definitely feels like you're cheating on a test. I'm not entirely sure where to go from that. That's like a terrible thing to say as a former teacher, by the way. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I caught a couple kids cheating in my day. I'm just saying. But here's the thing, because you can't cheat a cheater is what I always told them. Like, you think I hadn't thought of that? Good try. Because I taught 6th grade. But here's the thing. If you go to themouseforless.com and you listen to Ricky, it's like you're looking at her, like it's like you're looking into her brain because she wrote the article. She's going to talk about the information. Like you're going right to the source.
I don't know that you want in my brain. Let's just be perfectly honest. My brain is a jumble of all kinds of messed up stuff. I don't think you want in this brain. So
true story. All right, so let's jump in now. We got this information earlier this week on Monday, kind of dropped, and we were waiting for this because a lot of people, we'd been speculating on, I think the biggest speculation we've been having in the Disney community over the past, say, month. We had Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party canceled a long time ago. And the difference between Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party and Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, now this is kind of inside baseball, is that people had purchased tickets to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party already. Mickey's Very Merry had not gone on sale yet. So that's kind of, because these parties are pretty interchangeable, just different decorations and stuff. But that was the major difference as far as the mechanics of this all happening, right? They hadn't sold tickets to the Christmas party.
Correct. So a lot of people were wondering, well, is Disney going to be having the Christmas party then in the future? Because they haven't sold tickets yet, and they haven't announced anything yet about the Christmas party. So are they like holding out hope that they can have the Christmas party? So no, no Christmas party this year. It is official. They have canceled Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party this year.
I do think about this. What is a character that's over at Universal? The Grinch.
Yes.
Universal stole Christmas. You heard it here first. I'm saying they got the Grinch. We can't have Christmas at Walt Disney World. Universal stole Christmas.
Got it. Wow. There you go.
I'm making.
I'm not gonna agree with that. So
I'm just kidding.
That's not happening. So unfortunately, some big changes this year as far as Christmas is concerned. So no Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, no Castle Dreamlights. So no Blinged Out Castle this year, Mike Roman. No, it's not going to happen.
I have answers and I have thoughts, but I'll let you give the information. Right. We'll discuss this in a second.
All right. No, like Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam, that one makes sense. I mean, obviously they're not going to have that because, fireworks, and they aren't doing fireworks anyway. But
I did hear that they canceled it just so you're not going to spend the next 3 months going Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam. I know. Yeah, exactly. It had nothing to do with social distancing.
No, it's just so I didn't yell it. Okay. And then no candlelight processional. Again, makes sense. You don't want people like all close together.
That was
singing and then all close together in the theater watching the performances. So yeah, that one totally makes sense. And like I get it. Like I understand like the disappointment that people have about these things, because for a lot of people these are their holiday traditions. And I've done candlelight processional now like right at Christmas time, and it's truly a magical thing to experience, and I get the disappointment, don't get me wrong, but I also understand the logistics behind the fact that they can't do it. Like I get why they can't do Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam. I get why they can't do the candlelight processional. I get why they can't do the Frozen Holiday Wish, Castle Dreamlights thing. You just don't want things where people are congregating around. So, I mean, it makes complete sense. And, this year is going to be a different holiday season for all of us, whether it's at Walt Disney World or even. So, it's just, I know it's hard, but we're going to get through it, because Disney has announced that they have some really great opportunities for guests still to experience for the holidays. So it's not like all doom and gloom. I mean,
we're not just trying to ruin your Friday. Like we're not like trying to make you sad all weekend. I know this is bad news right off the top, but there's some good news. I mean, we can put some dates on calendars, pop out the November calendar. You can circle 2 important dates for stuff happening.
So the holiday season kicks off at most of the parks. So it kicks off at the Magic Kingdom and Disney's Hollywood Studios and Disney's Animal Kingdom on November 6th. And then it kicks off on November 27th at Epcot. So those are the dates to keep in mind. They will run the holidays through December 30th. So also something to keep in mind. Usually they run the holidays past into January, so that's also a change. So it's going to end on December 30th this year, so that's interesting too.
It is. And so let's talk about what you can expect if you go down this holiday. And I think you made a good point, because I thought the exact same thing earlier as this news broke, is that no matter what, Christmas is going to look different. Halloween's going to look different. I mean, we're having this debate around here, like, are kids going to go trick-or-treating? I say yes, because the thing is, you wear a mask on Halloween anyway. That's the one day of the year that you wear a mask. Like you dress up like Darth Vader. Like if I can give out candy, like and just wear a mask and just hand it, or put it out on the porch or something. I think we are going to have trick-or-treaters in our subdivision. I think it will happen. But Christmas will look different. I mean, because for most people, I wouldn't say most, but whether you celebrate Hanukkah, whether you celebrate Christmas, whatever you celebrate during the holiday season, I think the season at home, now we're not talking Disney, but is marked with gatherings, right? It's people getting together at church, people getting together for, Christmas pageants at schools, and
parties,
Parties. Exactly. The office party where people probably get drunk and do stupid stuff and then get fired up before the new year.
Exactly.
The thing is 2020 is going to look different for the holiday season everywhere. And I think what we're maybe, this is how I'm going to look at it, because of course it's been a slow year for the business, but I'm going to be more grateful for the more simple things, the more traditional stuff. I think I'm going to appreciate Christmas music even more than I ever have. And I love Christmas music. Putting up the Christmas tree is going to be something more special this year here at the house, just because we've had so much taken away that I still get to do that. And I think Walt Disney World is going to be kind of on the same kind of page.
Exactly. I mean, Christmas is going to be what you make of it, and it's going to be just as special as it can be. The magic is in what you do, and to celebrate, and what you do with your family and friends to celebrate. And while we can't all necessarily be with each other probably this holiday season, or if we can, it's not going to look the same as it always does. Whether it's a Zoom Christmas or, whatever, you mail each other Christmas presents, and open it on Zoom. Hey, that actually happened to Brian and I, though. I mean, it was before all this, but back in the day when we lived in Albuquerque, FaceTime, was a new thing, and we FaceTimed Christmas because we couldn't come home on Christmas Day, so we just FaceTime with the family and open presents that way. So it can be done. I know, but it can be done. I'm just saying, like,
here. Oh.
You can still celebrate Christmas. I know it's a sad way to celebrate Christmas, but it is what you make of it. So I'm just
totally is. The thing is, okay, so we're going to talk about what Disney is going to have. That's going to be kind of on the agenda. But here's the thing. I mean, like, I can see myself this year with so much being lost, like just having to cut back, just having to, I didn't get to go to a Cardinals game this year. It was impossible. Like, we always go to multiple Cardinals games. That's just being St. Louis in the summer, Mizzou. I may or may not get to go to Faurot Field this year. That is something, like, especially this time of year, this is where social media gets you, especially like Facebook and Instagram and like Google Photos. Like,
it shows you everything you did last year.
2 years ago. For the last 11 years, I've been at Mizzou this week, and it's like, keeps telling me, I'm like, I know, knock it off. Like, I know, like, quit rubbing it in my face, Google Photos. But the thing is, like, we're going to appreciate it. So if you are lucky enough to get to go during the holidays this year, just the fact that you're going to be on Main Street with some beautiful decorations,
it's going to be so special
and with Christmas music playing, that to me would be enough. I know I'm not getting a Christmas party. I know I'm not getting the castle lights. I know I'm not getting this. And we'll talk about the other things. But the thing is, I would just soak it in that I have a beautiful Main Street with decorations and my Christmas music it's always been there. Like, that would, for 2020, you just got to take what you get, and that would be enough for me.
I think you're absolutely right. Because that's what's just as magical. I mean, that's absolutely what's magical about it. So I think you're 100% right. Yeah.
All right. So we are not going to have Castle Dream Lights, but we are getting the ugly Christmas sweater projections on the castle. I mean, yes.
Yes. Okay. So last year, I guess I should specify, they introduced a brand new fireworks show that incorporated the castle projections into it. I forget what it was called last year. It was like Minnie something.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I had Minnie, and they changed the name, so I lost it. Like, all the names of the holiday fireworks shows now at this point are running together for the Mickey's Not So Scary and Mickey's Very Merry. But they had these special, like, projections on the castle that were shown during the fireworks show. Well, they're going to incorporate those projections now into a series of just rotating designs that happens, throughout the night. So, and granted, I'm sure that the night is not going to be that late, but it does get dark early now, when holidays take place. So
daylight savings time's ends this Sunday, right?
No, stop it.
I'm just making sure you're paying attention again. Go ahead.
So they're going to have like the ugly Christmas sweater, or they're going to have red, green, and gold ornamentation on the castle. And it's obviously not going to, be this show that takes place. It's just going to showcase the projections, for a few minutes so people can take their holiday photos or, see the castle decorated in a unique way. And then, maybe 5 minutes later or whatever, the next projection display will show up, and then the next one. And, I assume they'll have like, 3 or 4 or 5 different
they can
displays.
Have 10. They have time. They can have 10. And that would be perfect because you just kind of pass by. Oh, look at the castle. Take a picture and go on. And then you come by again. Oh, I'm going from Adventureland to Tomorrowland. Oh, it looks different. Yay. Picture.
Let's take another picture. Yeah, exactly. So I think that's really special. It may not be the Castle Dreamlights, but it's still a really cool way to celebrate the holidays. So I think that's fantastic.
See, and here's my thoughts on that. I'm fine, because like the first time I saw like the really good castle projections, like when, oh God, was it during maybe it was during a Halloween party? The first time, like it was jaw dropping to me when they had, or maybe it was in Happily Ever After. But it's when it became like a rocket and like,
Happily Ever After.
The whole dang castle was really taken off. I'm like, holy cow. Like this is next level. Like they can do cool stuff with this. And the thing is now they're so good at the projections. It's not, I know it's not the Dreamlights and everybody does like the iced out castle. I do too. But I think, you know what? This is a pretty good opportunity to have multiple Christmas castles instead of just one static castle.
Absolutely. I agree. And by the way, it was it wasn't Happily Ever After that they debuted. It was that where they did the family pictures on the castle. I forget which celebration that was for.
Yeah.
But it was a celebration and they had like this special show. Yes, it was Celebrate You. That's what it was. Okay, there we go. And they had like they had this special projection show, and that's where they debuted the rocket ship taking off.
I remember I was just like, whoa, like that was because I mean, like I'm like,
yes,
like it was almost like the thing where that magician tried to make the Statue of Liberty disappear. I'm like,
yeah,
holy, the castle's gone. Like, where'd the castle go? And then it was like, okay, sorry, let me turn out the lights. It's
yes.
It doesn't take much to trick me.
No, it doesn't. No. But in addition to that, the projections, there's also going to be special character cavalcades with Disney friends on festive floats, dressed, of course, in their holiday finest. So, they'll be in their ugly Christmas sweaters and everything like that. So there's that. You also may see gingerbread men. So they may bust those out. They may bust out the elves and the reindeer.
Gotta have toy soldiers. They are going
to have the toy soldiers. And they're going to be.
Dude, if they don't have toy soldiers, 2020 is totally down the.
And it's not. And they're going to have it. And they're going to join the Main Street Philharmonic. So
they're
going to march down Main Street with the Philharmonic. I think it's going to be fantastic. Like that is so cool to me what they're going to be doing with this. So yeah,
opportunities. They can get outside the box. I mean, the whole thing, everything has to be, and we'll talk about like Hollywood and Vine here in a second, but everything's got to be like a modified flyby version. Like it's got to be a quick hit and it's gone. But you know what? I hate to say this because this scares me because we're seeing this on social media and I'm starting to feel that way a little bit too with these cavalcades. I like them. And the thing is, what has the world become? It's become Twitter. It's become quick hits. 120 characters. We don't have time for a book. We have time for like 6 words. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, this is totally catering to the attention span of the American, which is about 2 seconds now. So
that's true.
It is.
That's true.
It's like they're almost seizing an opportunity.
Now, the one question that I have is, do you think, and I think this is probably what people are fearing, do you think, though, with doing the projection this year, do you think they will do that moving forward instead of the Castle Dreamlights?
See, I said that they would not hang after I saw the projections. I made it
you did.
About 5 years ago saying you won't see the physical lights anymore. They're too much of a pain in the butt. And
it's true.
And it's a lot of work. And the thing,
it's a lot of work, and they have to start it now.
Yeah,
they have to start it in September.
I
mean, they always do.
Shout out to the crane.
Exactly.
Crane.
That has its own Twitter account. Yeah,
it's tough for everybody, even cranes. So he'll be out of work. But yeah, it's one of those things. I don't know. I mean, it could be a cost cutting thing, but I mean, it's not because it's not that much of a. People are going to flame me on Twitter probably for this, but it's not that much of a downgrade to me to project them because you have.
Agreed.
They look awesome, and you can have so many different options.
I do wonder, and one of the things that they might be able to do with the projections is to project something that looks like the Castle Dream lights. I mean,
it'd totally blow people's minds if they did that. Like, gotcha. Those aren't real.
So I mean, I could easily see them doing, because they do the tributes to things like the the cake castle, the birthday cake castle, and stuff like that.
What if they did that at Christmas? They had the birthday cake. Like people would just
no, that's not Christmassy.
I know. That's probably just confuse people. Like Twitter would break.
But I mean, I could easily see them doing something like the Castle Dream lights projected on there as one of the options for the holidays. So I mean,
okay, so are you ready for what I was teasing on Friday?
Yes, I am ready. I'm ready. Let's go.
I can't hold it in anymore. I really can't. I'm scared somebody's gonna take it from me.
Got it.
Disney has the opportunity to just save Christmas, right? Like, save it. Like they almost save all 2020. Now that's a big ask, right? At this point, right? It'd be December. 2020 has been a drag. It's been a mess. Disney could save this holiday season and blow people away, and it fits into their strategy, right? We've talked about these little fly-by things. You can't have anything long.
Right.
Can't have anything where people like congregate. You got to have stuff that just kind of hits them where they are, blows them away, and then just it's gone. Like it's a memory. It's quick. It's a little hit on Instagram. Disney brings back the Intel drones instead of fireworks, and they can do them over all 4 parks every night.
There you go.
They throw up a Christmas tree in the sky. They throw up a dove. They throw up. Well, they don't throw up, but they put up. That sounds like they put up something in, like 5 figures, a Christmas like present, like a box.
Yes.
A tree, a snowman. People like, yay! It's almost like fireworks because they did this at Disney Springs. I saw it 3 times, and it blew. And when I saw it the first time, I was there for the media event. I was like, fireworks are going to go extinct. This is the most amazing thing. If you saw the thing for the Olympics, they did like the snowboarder guy and the Olympic ring. They could totally do this now. They would have to spend a little money, and I know they're not about spending money right now, but they have some drones somewhere, and I'm sure they're way obsolete because that was 2017, I think.
2016, I think, yeah.
So things are way obsolete at this point, but God, what an opportunity, because you could just fly those suckers. I mean, you do them like in an hour. You could have them over all 4 parks. Bam, 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 bam. Everybody gets to see a little thing in the sky. It just hits you out of the blue. You don't have to go to the hub. They're over the entire dang park. And, put a little Christmas music on through the whole park. Bam. There's your answer. You're welcome. Now they did our on the go Halloween party. Build your own Halloween party. Disney, go with it, man. I'm telling you, this is it. Drones.
I mean, as much as I love your idea, there are a couple of things that I think makes it a little impossible. One is like FAA approval. Two,
you ask forgiveness, not permission this year.
I see. Okay, yeah, that's what Disney wants to do. Two, I think they have to worry about the liability of, oh God, what if one of the drones falls from the sky and hits somebody? So
2020, dude, you could probably get hit by a meteorite just as easy. I'm just saying.
Got it. Okay, cool, Mike. Well, that's something. So
let me know what you think at Be Our Guest Mike on Twitter. Let me know.
All right, let's head to Disney's Hollywood Studios. So since that's also kicking off on November 6th, now they are going to be doing Minnie's Holiday Dine, which is taking place at Hollywood and Vine. And for those who've never done one of the Minnie's Holiday Dine experiences, basically the characters, and it's got to be different this year because of, COVID. But the characters will be behind you. You will be able to take selfies with the characters. They'll be dressed up in their holiday finest. Santa Goofy will be, there, and Minnie and dressed up and, all of that. So it's cute. It's a fun way to celebrate the holidays and, have a nice meal, I guess, if you like Hollywood and Vine. But,
the thing is, it has gone way up on the priority list for a lot of people because
True.
How else are you going to go for some holiday themed meal? That's about it.
Yes. The couple things that I am surprised that they haven't talked about, and I'm sure it's coming, is if they're going to have the holiday decorations at Hollywood Studios. I suspect they probably will.
Yeah.
Because, why wouldn't they? And then the other thing that I'm surprised that they didn't talk about is they didn't talk about whether they'll have the projection show, the Sunset Seasons Greetings. Again, it's one of those things where I've been there. They take maybe a minute and a half or so to do the projections. So I could easily see them doing them now. I know they don't want people congregating, but for a minute and a half, maybe then people can go. And it's never been that crowded when I've been on, with the parks being already minimized with the number of people that they're having there. I could see it possibly coming back. But again, not 100% sure just because, you know, I don't know how much they want to do something like that. So maybe they'll do like what they do with the castle, and they'll just do the static projection of, you know, the last scene that they have for the sunset seasons greetings, you know, something like that.
I say they do that, and they also do the awakening on the Tree of Life with the holiday or overlay, because the thing is, you got to have something like you know, most things you could have people congregate for, and there's some things, I mean, fireworks, parades, that's a huge issue. Like you just can't have it. But like you said, I mean, when you're projecting something onto the castle, it's the same thing as projecting something onto the Tower of Terror. It's a big canvas that can be seen from a distance, so you don't have to be on top of it. Sunset Boulevard's pretty spaced out, you know, typically by the late evening in December, or November.
I mean, I could see them easily doing it. So I'm glad you agree. And that was my next thing, is Disney's Animal Kingdom. That poor park. I feel so bad for Disney.
But the thing is, it was getting so much love for the holidays last year. 2019 it was a home run for the holidays.
2019 was like, they went years and years and years with just these just poor decorations, in the sense of like there was just nothing really for Disney's Animal Kingdom as far as decorations were concerned. They had the really cool tree with the animal masks on it, and that was about it. And then last year they knocked it out of the park with the really cool character puppets that they had.
Man, those things were like all the hotness. Those won't be here this year.
No, those are definitely not going to be here this year. They did the projections on, you know, the Awakening, the holiday themed versions on the Tree of Life, which hopefully, again, as you talked about, maybe they can still do something like that. They had the lanterns and stuff like that in Discovery Island. They had Dinoland USA celebrated Christmas with, you know, Donald Duck and everything like that. Like, they totally went crazy with Christmas last year, and it was fantastic. And then COVID-19 happens, and once again, that poor park. All they're getting as of right now is festive flotillas with characters.
But you know what? The thing is about those, you know, because what they do is they put the characters on the Discovery Island, that river. And but the thing is, with those pontoon boats, you could put the characters in like a scene. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
There will be probably like a Christmas tree on the, you know,
absolutely.
Chippendale. You know what I mean? It's not much.
It's not much. I hope they bring back some of the stuff, some of the decorations and stuff like that for the holidays this year, because they really knocked it out of the park last year for holidays. So I feel so bad for Disney's Animal Kingdom. So anyway.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it is. I mean, you what can you do? You know, the thing is, play some Christmas music and you know, put up some. They have to do that. The studios is so beautiful with those retro decorations.
Yes.
So I just want to throw that in. But yeah, I mean, these parks are doing what they can, and you know, trying to spread the cheer. Again, it gets back to 2020. You take what you can get. You can't get it all.
Take what you can get. So speaking of taking what you can get, the Epcot Festival holidays will continue, but they will be pared down this year, as one would expect. So you won't have like the, you know, performances of the stories of Santas, you know, around the world, things like that will not be happening. However, there will be holiday concerts. So you're going to have in World Showplace, you're going to have a group that I absolutely adore. Their name is called Joyful, and they present a journey of the holidays through R&B, gospel, contemporary, and traditional Christmas music. They do a phenomenal job every year. They seriously are one of my favorite things about the holidays. So I love that they're going to be performing once again. And the Voices of Liberty, of course, again, another staple for Epcot. They're going to be performing in the American Gardens Theater. So, again, if they can do these kinds of things, like little performances, I feel like they could probably do like the production shows. But again, we'll have to see what happens. They're also going to be doing the Festival of the Holiday Kitchens. Everything with the Festival of the Holidays starts on November 27th. So they start a little bit later than the holiday season starts everywhere else.
I'll remind everybody because it's my birthday. So
yes, exactly. Lots of reminders for that. So
I will say, you know, we get with like the smaller venues at American Gardens Theater. That's what they did this summer with the Jameters and Mariachi Cobre, and it worked out well. That's a bigger thing. Now, of course, you're saying, well, that's where they have candlelight processional. That's obviously a very small period, and that's a huge draw. I mean, people wait in line, from the theater back to the UK, to get in. Where you have these smaller things like Voice of Liberty, to us, listening to a podcast, like they're very awesome. Like we're in on the secret. Like they are amazing. But the thing is, the typical guest doesn't know. They Voices of who? So they're going to work out where you can socially distance space and do enough shows where you can have them in a theater. So I like that because you know what? While you don't have the candlelight processional with the story, from the Bible and the powerful music, Voices of Liberty can really kind of stir your soul with the way they perform the songs that we love.
And Voices of Liberty is a big part of Candlelight Processional. So I can easily see them performing like some of the songs that they would normally sing at Candlelight Processional during their performance.
We put in requests. Do they have a request box? No. Okay.
So, all right. Are you ready to head to Disney Springs?
I am. Is there going to be a Christmas tree trail? Somebody's asking. Amber in the chat.
Sort of. So this year, instead of the Christmas tree trail, which, I mean, if you've ever been on the Christmas tree trail, you know just how absolutely nuts packed that thing can get. Instead, they're going to have the trees scattered throughout Disney Springs.
Better idea. I bet you the retailers like that a lot better too.
Yes, probably. So they're going to be found in the town center, West Side, and the landing sections. What
was the second place they're going to be?
West Side. Yes, exactly. They're also going to have a magical snowfall there too. So that's kind of nice. And it's just nice that I personally am going to enjoy not being just smothered by people, because that's kind of how I feel when I've walked in the Christmas tree trail before, no matter what time of day it is too. Like it can be the middle of the afternoon, sun beating on you, and there's still just a bajillion people in the Christmas tree trail. So, I'm excited to find out that like I can actually just kind of walk and peruse and see the trees at my own leisure while wandering around Disney Springs.
It kind of reminds me of like your traditional shopping mall. I mean, they do spread stuff around to get people to go around the mall. But here's the thing I will say. Now, Marcy says this has her unbelievably excited. I'm the same way. I mean, you got to take what you can get, and this is still pretty good stuff. I mean, it's not the full package, but nobody's getting the full package in 2020. It's just how it is. I mean, most things you're getting zero. And I think you're getting about 60 to 70% here, if I had to eyeball it. But the thing is, with Disney Springs, I will give this caveat. I could see Disney Springs becoming a nut house this Christmas season, because it's been a little busy, during August, September, July. I could just see people, this could become a very, of course they're going to have limited capacity. I'm sure they're going to count people in and out, but I mean, this could be one of the crazier places.
No, I 100% agree. And, part of the reason why Disney Springs has just been absolutely nutso is it is the only place at Disney that you don't have to have a reservation for ahead of time. So you can, easily go to Disney Springs, get your Disney fix, and, you don't have to have the reservation. You don't have to fight with the reservation system. So I understand why Disney Springs has been more crowded. It's they're not limiting attendance there in the sense that they are in the parks. So it makes a lot of sense. So,
you don't have to plan for it. And you don't, most importantly, you don't have to be invested with a park ticket. You don't have to have any kind of monetary stake in the visit.
All right. Exactly. Jack Lindsay's Holiday Bar is also coming back, so I just wanted to throw that out there. So they're going to have the bar is decorated in holiday decor, and there's a limited time festive menu. They introduced that last year at the right as the holidays started. So they are going to bring it back this year. So
anything else that's official from the release that we need to know to get ready for folks that are heading down from November 6th on?
So we kind of talked about this a little bit on Wednesday's show, but the resorts are going to be getting in on the holiday fun. Now they're not going to be getting in as much. Like Mike said, it's 2020. So the gingerbread displays will not be taking place this year, unfortunately. But the trees are going to appear at the hotels. So other festive flourishes are going to be there as well. So you're still going to be able to experience the holidays at the resorts. It's just you're not going to have the gingerbread displays that draw a lot of people. So
gingerbread spreads COVID.
Stop it. So I know that you had said that you wanted to kind of mention a couple of the resorts to go to.
I mean, the thing is, this resort may or may not be open. I don't know if it will be. Art of Animation has a cool white Christmas tree. I mean, you're probably not going to go out. I would not say to go out of your way to go there, but in the instance that you're staying at Pop Century and Art of Animation's open, go over and check out that tree, get a picture in front of it. Same if you're Art of Animation, go over to Pop, get the picture. I would say, this isn't something you're really going to go unless you're like, we had a listener on Wednesday have a question about going down for just a resort only weekend, 3-day, 4-day trip. Now I might do that because you're looking for stuff to do because you're not going into the parks. However, look at your adjacent or the hotels that are in your neighborhood and just go check them out. It's not going to be a big deal, and get that picture because, 15 years from now, you can get that family picture in front of that tree and be like, oh yeah, because it's going to look different. And
absolutely, you're going to be wearing a mask. So
that. And plus, I mean, these trees all represent either a different era in time or they represent some kind of a geographical theme, so it's just kind of fun to see them, and you can have conversations, because like the Pop Century tree will have like a Simon, like a miniature Simon game from like the 70s. My daughter doesn't know what that is, and I can tell her how I used to play with that. My cousin Chris got it at Christmas one year on Christmas Eve. We're over with the grandparents, and we just kept playing that till our parents put that thing away. It's driving us nuts. It's one of those things you can at least talk about it and have that experience. So I say get around and check out the trees, but I wouldn't go from the Contemporary to Pop Century to see the tree. It's probably not worth that. If you're in the neighborhood, go check it out.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you on that one. So the holidays are going to be different this year, but it's still going to be just as magical because, it's Christmas. So.
And you're right. I mean, and Marcy, like she said, Skyliner makes it easy. You can check out the Riviera, you can check out the Caribbean Beach, go to Pop Century, check out those trees. Maybe if the studios closes early that night, just boom, boom, there you go. Yeah. And you'll have mobile order some food and have a snack.
Absolutely. Yes. I love that idea.
Nice. So I think, it's going to be fine. It's going to be different, but what about this as we close out? Because we got to wrap this up. But do you think they're going to do any kind of a Disney park special that's recorded live for Christmas morning on ABC? What do you think?
So I think this is just me speculating. I think they might. And that it's not going to look like, obviously what it has before. I mean, we're not going to have the parade, which, I mean, let's be honest, we haven't had the parade in years. No. So, I mean, let's be perfectly honest with that. I think what they're going to do is they may do one of two things. They may bring in artists to perform in the parks, and they may do holiday performances with Christmas music.
Because they always do it in front of stage crowds of cast members.
Without crowds, they may just do it that way. Or what I think is potentially more likely, they may do a thing like they did around Mother's Day and everything with the Disney Family Sing-Along, where they may do, artists performing Christmas songs that way, in a Zoom call type situation or something like that. I could see them doing both options. So, who knows if they end up doing it. But if they really wanted to, they could find a way, I think, to do it. So.
Yep. We'll see. All right. Well, that is going to wrap up our Christmas in September show. It's early, but it's always time to think ahead. And we do that as Disney fans. And again, I want to shout out to our patrons who are making this show possible here in these times where travel's just a little bit slower. Big shout out to Kelly, Mariello, Nick, Lynn Garcia, Andrea Gartland, and Megan McGee. Thanks for being a patron. And if you want to support the show on Patreon, check it out today. We sure appreciate it. You get extra content. You get Mike in the Midwest, which we're getting into the holidays, and I have lots of Halloween stories, lots of Thanksgiving stories because my birthday's right. Have I mentioned that? My birthday's around Thanksgiving.
Maybe.
Christmas stories, lots of those coming up here in the next few months. So become a patron, get the extra podcast every Thursday in your feed. Just check it out, patreon.com/BeOurGuestPodcast. All right, don't forget, you can support the show by booking your next trip with us at the Magic for Less Travel. They're a platinum earmarked agency. They've been doing this forever. They have professional, passionate, full-time agents. They're going to take care of you from the time it pops into your head. Hey, I want to go to Disney. Boom. That agent can help you out right away, all the way till the time those wheels hit the ground or you pull into the driveway. We're going to take great care of you. Check them out today over at themagicforless.com. Fill out that free, no obligation quote form. And if you mention this little podcast called the Be Our Guest Podcast, a guy named Mike Rallman's going to be shooting you an email right away saying, let's do this. Let's have some fun. Let's get you down to Walt Disney or Disneyland or Cruise Line or even Adventures by Disney or even Universal. So we can take care of you there as well. So check them out today over at themagicforless.com. Also, please use our Amazon affiliate link, beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon, anytime you shop online. Also, some breaking news. Now, don't forget, we do live call-in shows every Sunday night. Where you been? We've been waiting for you. So Sunday nights, we do them at 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central on YouTube and Facebook. So just join us over there. But this Sunday night is going to be a regular call-in show. All topics. We can talk about Christmas, Halloween, whatever you want to talk about. Next Sunday, the 20th, we're having a legend. We're having a celebrity. We're having Mike Bankhead join us. So we're talking.
Hey, there you go.
On Disney. We're getting, it's going to be 0 hour here for Marathon Weekend very, very soon. So we're going to talk about that, how the training's going. Some people, Laurie actually ran a full marathon, one of our lizards, full in-person marathon this past weekend.
That's awesome.
So we'll talk about that, how everything's going with the lizards. But just because you hate running, maybe you have a 0.0 sticker on the back of your car that says, I run over runners that cross my path. No, we don't want that. Okay. I'm against people running runners over because I'm a runner. But if you don't like running, that doesn't mean you don't have to tune in on the 20th. We talk about all kinds of fun stuff. We talk about restaurants we run to eat. We talk about, it's not going to be like, what kind of sneakers do you wear? That's boring. We're going to be talking about fun stuff. So join us on September 20th. That's going to be the Lizard special show with Mike Bankhead. But Mike, it's Mike. You want to hear from Mike? He's fun. So just put that calendar out there. All right. We are going to get out of here. Instagram and Twitter at BeOurGuestPod, at BeOurGuestMike, Facebook and YouTube. Just search for the Be Our Guest Podcast. And it's time to have a great weekend. So for Ricky and Pam, I'm Mike. Wish you an awesome weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy, and Merry Christmas.
Jingle bells.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'll put some Christmas music behind this. All right. I am out.
All right.
Good shows. Good stuff.
Thanks. I'll see you next Monday.
Yep, be there, be square.
Bye, y'all.
See ya. Bye.